Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the family. I'm honored to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. Okay, my loves, today's reading, I am so beyond excited for today's reading. The title of today's reading, Phoenix Embers, Rising from the Ashes. This has been a title that I have had in my heart and in my soul for over a year. It's been nearly a year and a half. I channeled it back in June of 2021 after I published my first book, Chemistry with Kismet. And I thought it was meant to be a book, but I didn't have the words. The words never flowed. Every time I tried to sit down to write it, the words never flowed forth. And I couldn't figure out why until I received an email from Alyssa from Celtic Fairy Tarot. And she said she had been in a meditation thinking about pick-a-card topics. And this topic of becoming the Phoenix was what came to her. And she saw a visual of my face. And in that moment, when I read that email, everything fell into place. All the pieces that had felt so disjointed and so off balance and off kilter and in the wrong places. And if you're new to, or if you have been on my channel for a while, you know I like to talk about puzzle pieces. All of the pieces suddenly fell into the right place. I was like, that's why this has been there for so long. That's why this has been nurtured and loved and protected for so long. Instead of just scrapped, which if you're an author, you know, there are some titles, there are some storylines that you just end up scrapping because they just aren't right for you, or you picked up someone else's inspiration and you needed to return it to the pile. But for me, Phoenix Embers, you know, into the fire, becoming the Phoenix, these things, they have been a part of my heart and a part of my soul. And the Phoenix is actually my spirit animal that I found out while I was doing a very deep, intense shamanic drum journey. So this is something that is deeply, deeply personal to me, but I've been going through my own personal Phoenix moment. And when we go through a personal Phoenix moment, sometimes we can forget what it's like to feel joy, to feel excited, to feel anything beyond the low energies that we're working our way through. And I bring this up because I have recently come out of my own Phoenix moment. I feel right now in my life as though I am rising. I'm flying, finally. And it's been a long time. And we're working with the Elder Futhark runes. And today's reading is represented by two of these runes, the Gebo rune and the Mannaz rune. This is the gift and the man. This is the gift of awakening, the gift of wisdom, the gift of insight, of enlightenment, of awareness, the gift of being a person, a human being, the gift of mankind. This is about the gift that is this life that we live and the souls that we have and the paths that we choose and the people that we love. This reading is to help you rise like the Phoenix, to remember what it's like to feel blessed in this life, to feel what a gift it is to be human, what a gift it is to be of the race of man, to remember that we are all connected both to our star beings, to the animals, to the earth, but we are still human. And that is a blessing. Every time we feel as though we're slowed down, it's to help us remember to take care of ourselves. If you guys can hear, my voice is not my normal voice. It's because my laryngitis turned into a sinus infection and I have been battling being sick for about 2 weeks' time. I'm not the only reader. I swear it's, you know, you think about elementary school where one kid gets sick and all the other kids get sick. It kind of seems that way in the tarot community where one reader gets sick and all the other readers get sick. And I've watched this happen over the past couple of years. And I think it's really funny. It's really great because what it shows you is that all of us readers are connected to the same energy. So we can be in a multitude of different places and still be reading for the same magnitude, the same collective magnitude. And in doing so, we all still can catch the same little bug. It's not a bad thing. It's actually one of those things where we kind of lose sight of the blessing that it is. And we think that it's not a blessing, but really it is, because it's showing us, again, how connected we all are. This reading is to help remind you what a gift your life is, what a gift you are to life, what a gift you are to mankind, and what a gift this experience and this journey is. Because when you see the blessing and the abundance and the gift that is being alive and breathing in and out every day. And I promise you guys, this is not toxic positivity, because dude, I live in the darkness so often. But when you can harness this energy when you're in the darkness, this is when you elevate. This is when your life changes. And I am telling you, this reading is to help you see just how capable you are of changing your life. Before we get into the piles, I want to give a massive shout out to Alyssa with Celtic Fairy Tarot. It has taken me such a long time to be open with other readers, to be honest about my emotions. And Alyssa has borne the brunt of my own jealousy and envy for months prior to us meeting. And I when I introduced myself to her via email, I literally started it off with, I have to apologize for me. I'm sorry. I want to say that I really love your readings, but you totally got put on the map in a way that I wanted to. And it was my own insecurities that were holding me back from really diving into the value and the benefit of what she had, because I was so stuck in my own, why not me energy, And so she really transformed my own perception so much so that it landed, this lesson landed itself in Uranus's retrograde guidebook. In learning how to recognize that when we're looking at people in the outside world who have something that we want, they're there as the inspiration. They're not there to breed jealousy and envy. They're there to inspire us to go after our dreams. And to that note, Alyssa, amongst others, definitely did that. She is the one that has been the most prominent as of late, because I've watched her appear and blow up. And I have felt jealousy and envy, but I've also felt pride and joy and excitement watching her channel grow, watching her life grow, watching things continue to move forward. And I feel truly blessed that Spirit brought me into her awareness during her meditation for us to do this reading. So Alyssa, honey, thank you so much for literally everything, not just your readings, but for being my inspiration, for pushing me into a shadow state that I needed to be pushed into so that I could heal that shadow state and see you for the light and the inspirational truth that you are, because you have helped change my life. And I am ever so appreciative of it. I am so honored to work with you on this reading. I am so excited to do more collaborations with you and other readers. And I am so excited for our two communities to really, really embrace their Phoenix energy. And my love goes out to you. And I know that for anyone in my community that is not a part of your community, which FYI guys, go and subscribe to her if you're not, but anyone in my community who is not a part of your community, we all send all of our love to you and your family during this time. All right. Okay, guys, so we have 4 piles. I'm going to put these runes away. We're going to cleanse them with fire. I actually want to show you guys how I do this, because I think that would be great for you. So I cleanse them over the fire. Both of these are set for protection and prosperity, because that's the energy we're in right now collectively with this full moon in Taurus, which we're working on today. So we're cleansing all of them. That way, whenever they come out for future readings, that's the energy that they're in, protection and prosperity, which I think we all could use. So each pile here has its own rune. We have pile 1 with jasmine and the rune Isa or ice. We have pile 2 with the card willow. And as per usual, we still have Thurisaz out here with thorn. Pile 3, we have the card mustard. And we have the rune Ansuz. Pile 4, we have the card thistle. And we have Kenaz, or Kenaz. Kenaz, I think. But it makes me think of Kenai, Alaska, which is on my bucket list to go and visit. And in all honesty, like Kenai is going to be one of my top places that I go to next. Because my best friend and my nephew both live out in Kenai. And so I cannot wait to go out there. All right. I'm going to leave you guys here, let you guys have some music, go over the cards and the crystals, and I will see you at your piles. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the first card, the jasmine card, as well as the crystal Isa or ice, this is your message of how you can rise like the phoenix. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I want to start with is I'm actually going to read from the book, The Mother Prays. Whoa. So when you look at this card up close, it's kind of hard to see the face and everything. And then when I pulled myself away and actually looked at my screen, I could actually see the face. And that's so beautiful. It's kind of like the closer that you get to a situation, the harder it is to see the beauty that it has. And that doesn't surprise me because you do have the Isa rune here, which is ice. And ice talks about the coldness, the hardness, and so does the jasmine. But let's, before we get too far ahead, because I can already feel the channel open. We're going to read, and for the Mother Prays, for all of these, just in case you chose another pile, I don't get that feeling, but just in case, I'm just going to read the poem that goes with it. And it says, I love you, holding your breath in my kiss, your heartbeat in my arms, driving home. I could see you sitting beside me. Not with my eyes, but I knew you were there. Your beautiful legs crossed, your coat open and inviting. The soft scent of you brings a smile to my lips and to my heart because I know you are still here. And this talks about opening your heart and your soul to the Divine Mother, to the loving and the nurturing from the Divine Mother. And the Divine Mother is not, it's not your mother in this life. It's not your mother in your past lives. It's not the mother that you know or the mother that you don't. The Divine Mother is literally the essence of divine feminine energy at its most nurturing and its most loving. Whenever I think of Divine Mother energy, I always think of the earth element. Now, I want to talk about this Isa rune, ice, as well as the Jasmine card. So the Jasmine card actually talks about the nature of pain. It talks about so this is the Seed and Sickle Oracle, and it has dusk and dawn. And it depends on how you want to look at it, essentially. But I looked at both of them. And in the dusk, it really struck me because the dusk has all the stories, the backstories of these cards. And the Jasmine card talks about this young man and woman who fall in love with each other, and then he has to go away, and she's afraid. She's afraid that if he has to go away, that he's going to find someone new and fall in love with someone else, and she'll just be forgotten. And so he hands her his dagger, and he says, I promise you that will not happen. And when I return, if it has happened, you may take my dagger and stab me in the heart with it. And lo and behold, her fears come true because she was afraid of it. And he came back, and he had been married. And so he came back with a wife. And she took his dagger, and instead of stabbing him, she stabbed herself directly in the heart and died. Now, the dawn version of it talks about your own confidence in your creations, in your speech, in the things that you're doing in the world, but mostly your confidence in your heart and whether you're going to allow the words and actions of others to really hold you back from living fully from the heart. The Divine Mother says it doesn't matter whether you were nurtured or not in your life from your mother. It matters only that you know that there is a Divine Mother out there who loves and nurtures all of us. You live in this earth, in this world, and in this world, it may seem scary, it may seem hard, it may seem cold as ice, but don't harden your heart to that. Don't harden your heart because of the actions that other people took. Don't harden your heart because of the wickedness of the things that you see, for that is just the surface illusion, and in truth, it is just the icy version of the warmth and the love and the flow that exists beyond it. If you think about ice, ice is water, water frozen in time, frozen solid. And that was a movie that came through for you guys, Frozen and Frozen 2. And if you think about, if you haven't ever seen Frozen, and Frozen, Anna and Elsa, Anna's trying to get Elsa to come back after having frozen all of Arendelle, and Elsa's trapped. She's trapped. She's trying to stop feeling. She says, conceal, don't feel, conceal, don't feel. She's trying to stop herself from feeling her emotions. But every time she tries to stop herself from feeling her emotions, they build and they build and they build, and then they explode out of her. And in that case, when they exploded out of her, it hit Anna directly in the heart. And so they had to go on this big, long journey. And essentially, the whole storyline boils down to the way to thaw an icy heart is through an act of true love. True love is embracing yourself. It's loving yourself. It's coming back to the earth and saying, I love you. Please nurture me. Please ground me. Please protect me. It's coming back to Spirit and saying, Spirit, I know that I have been hard. I know that my heart has been cold, but I am ready to be open. I am ready to flow. So please come and enter into my life. It's developing this understanding that through every pain, we can self-destruct or we can destruct others. But even if we destruct others, we're still self-destructing ourselves. And what is the point? You don't get to live fully. This is about knowing that if you are in a state of ice, if your heart is cold, if life has seemed cold, you step into the fires. You step into the fire to become the phoenix, because what happens is that ice melts and it turns into the flowing river. And from there, you start flowing in the way that you're meant to flow. Water is our emotions. Our emotions are meant to flow. They're not meant to be blocked up and stopped up. Otherwise, you end up hurting people, and you don't mean to, because in truth, you love these people, but you can accidentally hurt them because you're not allowing yourself to feel. And when you're not allowing yourself to feel, you're hurting yourself. So to rise like the phoenix, it's time to allow for a thaw. Allow for your heart to be thawed from the pains of the past, from the betrayals, from the deceptions, from the lack of confidence, from any kind of lack. And step into the fires and say, I am going to sizzle. I'm going to melt. I'm going to turn into steam, and then I'm going to rise, because hot air rises and so does steam. And it goes up and up and up into the sky until it turns into the magnitude of the thunder clouds. And those clouds carry the power and the might of the heavens. This is what you have the potential to do. This is your phoenix moment. This is how you rise like the phoenix. You will step and allow it to melt away. So this is how you rise. So let's see your cards. These are the past, and these two are the past. These two are moving forward, and these are just energies that are associated with you. Now, as I was shuffling and pulling these cards last night, a lot of your cards were very hesitant. They were kind of, they did carry that deception energy, but this Sacred Destiny card in particular came out reversed. Now, I don't read reversals, but it was something that I wanted to note. I have not looked at it, so I don't have any idea what it is, but it did come out in reverse. And that to me is telling me that you're stopping yourself from moving further into your destiny. The only cards that I didn't struggle with were actually the Shaman Dream Oracle. So these two. And that to me told me that you guys really are in touch with the dreams that you have for your life. But it's about knowing that this transformation is going to take, knowing that you can step into your destiny and knowing that you are true to yourself. So let's take a look first at the past. So the dream of the past was the farther gate, 55 with a bold step forward. And the card 36 was Spirit Guardian of Spring and Activation. Okay, so let me take a drink of my coffee first. I'm still, if you guys missed the intro, I'm still sick. It's like tarot reader cold season is kind of how I am thinking about it. And Spirit just keeps showing me elementary schools and how the kids all get sick. And I think that's because I'm a mom with two kids in elementary school. And so there's that easier correlation. But this Spirit Guardian of Spring with Activation. So, excuse me, guys. If you were in the springtime, and this is if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we're now moving into winter, fall, winter area, depending on where you're at in the Northern Hemisphere, because where I'm at, we're definitely moving into winter now. But anywhere where you are moving into spring. So those of you who are in the Southern Hemisphere, this is a much more past as in very recent energy. For others, this is past as in months. And for, I think, about 40% of you, wow, that's a much higher number than I expected, but that was the number that popped into my head. For 40% of you, this goes back to the spring of 2019 to 2020, where this stuff really started. And for those in that 40%, that's the hardest energy here. You guys are the ones that I'm having the hardest time with. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Please believe me. I mean that in you've been through hell. Like HE double hockey sticks, capital letter, beat you up with the hockey sticks and knock your teeth out, and not Canadian hockey style, but just like brutality style. Kind of, you've been through hell. So I say that because what I feel from this is like, you see all these fairy spirits, the sprites that have the streamers around. It almost feels like you have had adventures and experiences and journeys that have all been like that. Both this activation card, as well as the bold step forward, both have this element of mist. There's that element of mist or element of something missing. It's like you can't quite see clearly. And because of that, there's been a lot of deception. And this may be self-deception. It's kind of like when I looked at this first card, I'm being brought back to the very beginning of this reading, when I looked at the Mother Prays on my computer screen and I could see the Mother praying. But when I look directly at the card, I can't see it. You thought that you were moving forward in the right direction. And it doesn't mean that you weren't moving forward in the right direction. It just means that there was so much that had to be activated that it required a lot. And the more that you moved forward, the less hope you had. And when this happens, when this happens, we can get lost in that mist. We can get lost in that cloudiness, that confusion, that misty nature. And this is really telling me a lot that in the past you've had these great dreams and you were activated, but you know, I've been doing this thing, or I did this thing with Odessa Mall, which shout out, babe, you're amazing. Where we exchanged personal readings, and there was something that she said that actually rings true with you guys here. And it's about things being activated inside of you. But what I get from you guys is there's this energy of you guys have been activated. But as you activated yourself, every step felt like a bold step forward. Every step was beyond this gate. But beyond this gate, if you look, beyond the open gate is another gate. So you guys may have I just heard gatekeeping. You guys, one of these days I'm going to have Eliza do a short about what she says about gatekeeping because it's so funny. But you guys may have dealt with a lot of people gatekeeping secrets, gatekeeping information, gatekeeping help. I myself have been there. I detest gatekeeping. If I know something and I channel something, I'm not going to hold on to it because the world needs it. Like, that's the whole point of this. And that's where this deception energy gets into, where we can end up hurting ourselves because we think that we should have known. You know, like I should have known. No, you shouldn't have, because you were going through the experience you needed to go through. Every step that you took, that you are taking forward, is a huge step forward. Because if you look to the step before this and the step before that, it felt monumental to you. It absolutely, like in your energy, it was like the most pivotal moment ever. In the past, your dreams really pushed you to wake up, to thaw out. But even if you get activated 100%, if your heart is not open, no amount of mental activation is going to undo the need of the emotions. You need to come back to your heart center. This is how you rise. You rise when you come back to your heart, when you have compassion for yourself, when you have love and empathy for yourself. You can give it out to so many people, but all you're doing is still continually stabbing yourself in the heart. And in this case, you're being called deeply to step back into your heart, to your center, to your core. So let's see moving forward. Yes, we've got 24, Galactic Mushroom with a Divine Matrix. And 10, Daffodil Fairy, New Beginnings. Oh my gosh, I love this. See, you guys are being asked to realize that everything has a time, everything has a place, everything has its own order. But sometimes it's the simplest things, something very small like a mushroom that is so connected to everything else. Sometimes it takes letting go. And look at all this green. The galactic mushroom, the activation, the new beginnings, all of it is green. It's activating your heart. You are so tapped into the higher realms. You can navigate the craziest situations and do it without blinking an eye. But without your heart involved, you're just going through the motions. So your heart needed to be activated. And now you're stepping into understanding. You know, the Divine Matrix, when I see the Divine Matrix, the movie The Matrix has been stuck in my head. And I'm being shown the way that they show the coding, and it's all green on the screen. You know, like everybody walks in green on the screen. And no, not a green screen. I know they do a lot of that too. But my point here is that we judge the Matrix, but they were trying to save humanity in some way, shape, or form. We don't want to be trapped in this program, but they're trying to save people from the anguish of the destruction that they have wrought in the world. Like, let me appease this for you. Let me show you a better way. I don't know. This is so weird. This is so different. It's kind of like having empathy for the devil. It's having sympathy for the underdog, not even the underdog. Hang on one moment. Bella, thank you. She's trying to climb up on my table and she keeps like climbing up and hesitating, climbing up. Bella, come here, baby. Oh, now we've got Willow coming. But if you can have an open heart, if you can have empathy and sympathy for the devil, if you can have empathy and sympathy for the people who have harmed you the most, the absolute most, why can't you do it for yourself? This is how you start anew. This is how you step fully into the blueprint of your truest self. You stop hurting yourself and you start giving to yourself the same things that you give to everybody else, because you are such a beautiful giving energy. You're so giving and spiritually giving. So let's take a look. This is the Elqui, and I'm going to say the one who, and that's again, I've said this before on my channel, but it's a nod to Baba Jolie and her guided messages and how she reads these cards so that you understand they're not gender specific. They're just about the energies. So it says elixir. Oh my God. I promise you guys, I don't look at these cards. It says the one who forgives, remorse, guilt, and forgiveness. You see this, and this is not about and look, she's even wearing green. This is all about your heart chakra. Oh, it's such a pretty card. This is literally about letting go. Like, it's okay. Yes, people have hurt you in the past. Yes, absolutely. I'll never negate that, because I've literally done a video where I say, like, people suck. People are assholes. We're not meant to be assholes, but we are. We are. But does that mean that you shouldn't forgive them? No. Do you forgive other people? Absolutely, all the time. I get that energy from you guys. I can forgive anybody all the time. But can you forgive yourself? If you want to be the phoenix, you have to forgive yourself, because when you forgive yourself, that's when your heart melts. That's when you say, okay, I can do this. Now I'm being brought back to Frozen 2, where Anna realizes that she's always trying to protect Elsa. She's doing everything for Elsa, and she's not thinking about anybody else, and it's hurting her, and it's hurting everyone. And then she realizes, I'm worthy of this. I am worthy of. And she steps more fully into herself and her worth and her power, and forgives herself for always following other people. So let's see this divine destiny. We have new beginnings. Oh, first of all, new beginnings. Secondly, this was in reverse. This means that this iciness, this holding yourself back from forgiving yourself, is really holding you back from stepping forward and having your new beginning. We have 2 new beginning cards. I literally could not have made this up if I tried. Like, okay, maybe if I tried. Who in the world is the doubter here? Because I just got hit with this energy of, yeah, you totally could have tried that. They're 2 different decks. I get that. I get that. But the point here is I didn't. So let's get a little bit more information moving forward. So I'm going to actually clear these off here quick. We're going to do this. See what happens when I like change my mind midway through when I'm already filming and choose not to pause the video. You guys get to experience all the back scenes of everything. So we're going to pull just a few tarot cards and we're going to get some advice for moving forward. So we know now that your Phoenix Embers, for you to rise like the Phoenix, rise from the ashes of what came before, for that new beginning, you have to allow for your heart to open. So the truth, that's the core of it. Oh my God. That's the core of it, is letting your heart open. So spirit and guides for pile 1, how can they open their heart? Okay. All of them? Okay. We have the 5 of Cups. These are sticky cards. We've got the 5 of Cups, the Seeker of Coins, the 10 of Wands, the Seeker of Cups. Yeah, here we go. And then the Sovereign of Wands. Okay. Okay. Allow for the pains of the past to pour out from you and no longer carry the burdens of these things. No longer carry the burdens of other people. No longer carry the burdens and the weights of the past. Allow yourself to step into this seeker energy. Even on the back, we have the Seeker of Wands. We have the Seeker of Cups, of Coins, of Wands. This is telling me this energy right here, this is how you step into the fire more fully, or how you realize that these are the ashes here that you're coming out of. So you want to come out of the ashes. You want to come out of this 5 of Cups and 10 of Wands. You've been carrying these emotional burdens for far too long. And the longer that you carry an emotional burden, the worse the pain is for them. What you have to do is allow yourself to just feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. So for years and years and years of my life, I didn't allow myself to feel anything. I didn't allow myself to feel the pains of what I went through as a child, the magnitude of my sexual assault and my physical abuse and the amount of manipulation and narcissism that I went through. I didn't allow myself to feel it. I didn't allow myself to feel the trauma and the pain and the fear and the anguish because I had too many other things going on. I had kids, I had a job, I had a life, I had this and that and whatever to take care of. And so I did not have the time. So I would continually put these burdens on my shoulders over and over and over and over again. When you do that, you actually completely and utterly suffocate your inner child. You suffocate your curiosity, and curiosity is your pathway forward. Curiosity is your phoenix. You've got the Seeker of Cups, the Seeker of Coins, and the Seeker of Wands. These are all the pages. And I say all the time, I love the kings, I love the queens. But the pages are my favorite because those are the essence of the inner child in the tarot. This is saying, what are you passionate about? What do you love? What do you want to experience? What wishes seem like they couldn't possibly come true? Now make those wishes be a reality. Find them, sort them out. Just like when you're a kid and you put your tooth underneath your pillow and you just know without a doubt the tooth fairy is going to come. There will be money underneath your pillow and you get paid for losing teeth. So too is this. It's such a ludicrous idea. I pull a tooth out of my mouth and I get paid for it. It's such a ludicrous idea as an adult. But as kids, it was like, yeah, no, that's just what happens. And because we expect it to happen, that's what happens. Now, I'm not saying this applies to everyone because everybody grows up differently, but I do gosh, I got a doubter in, I have a doubter in this file. I do love that energy because it does challenge me. But what I'm saying here, and what you need to realize here is every time that you doubt your own wishes, you prevent it from opening that door. You prevent it from opening that further gate. If you want your new beginning, you have to walk through that gate, and that gate is trust. That gate is an open heart. That gate is love. That gate is the phoenix. We have ascension here. Do you not see this? Like, you're being called to ascend higher than the pains of the past, to ascend higher than the burdens that you are carrying, and to realize that you have the power to do this. All you have to do is step into your power. We have strength. And on the back, we have sacred sexuality. This is all about your creation. Sacred sexuality talks about the sacral chakra. This is water energy. It's your water energy. And I'm not calling you guys the water pile because it's so frozen. I'd call you guys an earth pile more than anything. Earth, sun, moon, rising, and Mars is what I just heard. Mars, very specifically, like you may have an Earth Mars. But you are being called to go on this ascension process, to open yourself up and to allow yourself to really step into who you are. There is true strength in being childish. There is true strength in being And I don't mean childish in the sense of like you're being a child about things. I mean childish in the sense of like asking spirit why incessantly. You know, every kid goes through that 3-year-old phase where they're like, why? Any parent can tell you that is the phase where you want to bash your head against a wall all the time because you don't want to suffocate your child's curiosity. You want them to be curious about the world so that they expand their horizons, their possibilities, their potentialities. You want them to do that. But you cannot stand hearing the question why so often. And it takes true strength to like endure that. But Spirit's saying, ask me why. Ask me why. Why did this happen? Ask me why. God, that's so funny. This is where that energy was coming from. I was looking through my old videos that I posted and I felt like there was a video that I should share. And I'll do this on my community page for you guys after this goes out. That is Spirit Answers Why. But that's what I'm getting is like, it's time for you to start asking why. Why did this happen? And then letting the answers come to you, because in order for that to happen, you have to realize that there were some really, truly unfair situations in your life. There were some really, truly unfair moments, and you have the strength to really rise above them. But don't you deserve an answer? Pray for it. Pray on it, because that's going to help you find your freedom. You guys are my Reiki pile. So when you go through Reiki and you go through an attunement, and this doesn't have to apply to everybody, but I do feel that Reiki energy really strongly, especially with the Ascension card. When you go through that attunement, everything comes up. Like you have to navigate it all. You just do. You have to navigate it all. And the more that you do, the more attunements you do, the more you have to navigate. And it goes down to a soul level. You have to cleanse. You have to clean. You have to get this shit out of you in any way, shape, or form, because it gets to be too heavy. And then you're in a self-sacrificial position as a healer, and no healer should be in a self-sacrificial position. And that's just my personal opinion. We all should be healthy, happy, whole, and heal from there, because all we are the conduits of healing. We are helping other people heal. I do have the window open, so I apologize if you guys can hear the garbage is being taken out in my back alley, and so I have the window open. But with this ascension energy that I'm feeling, it's literally like, if you want to ascend, this is what you have to, this is what needs to be turned into ashes. You have to rise from this. You have to rise from that. How do you do that? Ask Spirit. Just ask. Spirit wants us to know. Spirit wants to give us the answer. Spirit wants to help us. We have to be willing to hear. So how can you hear? Because you want to rise. You need to get curious. I just keep hearing, get curious. I'm sorry. I literally, I was shuffling and this card flew so far it hit Willow in the face. She's sleeping on the floor and she just kind of looked at me like, Mom, the fuck? All right, we have dreams. See, this is what I told you. You guys are so in touch with your dreams. Alternately, you guys may have very vivid dreams. You may be playing out different scenarios in your dreams. Maybe get a dream journal if that resonates. I have my brain just totally shut off. I have a tarot spread that helps you anchor into your dreams. I've developed it to help anchor me in because I cut my own dreams off. I stopped being able to dream because I had PTSD from my dad passing away when I was a kid. And so every night I would dream of dead dad. So I taught myself as a kid to stop dreaming. But when you stop dreaming, it's like you cut off that crucial part of your creativity. And I have had to work to pull it back open. Now, alternately, I'm seeing a full moon. So pay attention to your dreams today in particular, if you're watching this when it comes out. Just pay attention to your dreams, especially during full moon phases. This is a timeless reading, but this is going out during the eclipse, so it's pretty powerful. And then we have career. Okay, so the pain, And guys, I got to tell you, I was picking up, and on the back we have prosperity. See? I got to tell you, what I was picking up is the pains that you have had in relationships is what is hindering all of this. And it would be hard for you to be able to sort that out because it doesn't seem like they would be connected, but everything is connected to your heart. So if your heart is imbalanced in one way, then it imbalances everything else in your life. So you want to rise like the phoenix. It's time for you to have faith in your dreams and in your career and in the prospects that you want. Get really curious and start asking, what can I do? What can I make? What can I build? What can I create? We have signs. Instincts are the messages from the inner divine. Look how much purple we have here now. Once you open this heart chakra, it's like all of a sudden your head and your heart align and you become so clear about everything. All right. Can we get just one more, Spirit? Can we get one more? Literally every time I say just one more and we get two. On the back, we have love. Just like I said, divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. The way to thaw a frozen heart is through an act of true love. All the signs have been pointing you to this. We've got intuition. And look, it even has a heart on it. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. And then finally, we have extraordinary. There's a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. So this is about you following the signs, following what feels right to you. You may have been somebody who was told your dreams don't matter. Your dreams can never, you can't do this, you can't do that. But you're extraordinary. You are way more than ordinary. And it is I'm getting it's in your ordinariness that you are extraordinary. It's like you can scrub the floors and you're like Cinderella when you do it. All the animals respond and the world responds. You have this beautiful nature that is so nurturing and loving, but that nature has been hurt so much. And it's made you feel like you had to give up on your dreams. But I'm telling you guys, your dreams are here for you. Follow the signs. Trust yourself. This is how you move forward as the phoenix. Ask why and listen. Ask why and listen. Because spirit speaks loudly, clearly, and is speaking to you right here and right now, saying, this is what you have to do. Forgive yourself. I just got brought back to this. Forgive yourself because your new beginnings are here. Forgive yourself. Yeah, I want to put this. I want to put this here. Forgive yourself because it's time for you to have your new beginnings. It's time for you to forgive yourself, to let it go, and to step fully into who you are. Allow yourself to really dream the life that you want. If you want to make your dreams into a career, you can do that. You have everything that you need. It's time for you to rise. Let your heart melt. Let your heart be warmed. Follow what your heart is telling you. Even the signs, it's in her heart that she is exuding from. She or he, this is not gender specific. You have the power within you. You have the strength to do this. Now is the time to allow your heart to melt, to be open to these things. All right, pile one. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection between our energies. Spirit, thank you so much for these amazing messages, these amazing insights and wisdom that I have been able to bring forth for pile one. I just thanks. And I want to say again, thank you so much to Celtic Fairy Tarot for this collaboration. If you guys have not caught her part of the collaboration, please check the description box below for the link to her channel and her reading. She's an amazing, amazing reader. And I am just honored to do this reading with her. If this reading resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And down in the description box, aside from the link to Celtic Fairy Tarots, you're going to find links to my author page on Amazon, as well as links to donate and or book a personal reading with me, as well as let us know in the comment section below how this resonated. Okay, Willow is yelling. It's time to let her out. Pile 1, I love you all. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the second card, the Willow, as well as the Thurisaz rune, this is your message about Phoenix Embers rising from the ashes. This is all about how you are rising from the ashes. And I love that you guys have the Swan card. The Swan card came underneath the Willow, and the Swan, I always think about the ugly duckling and the ways in which, you know, the ugly duckling, it gets mocked incessantly. It gets made fun of. It gets told how lesser than it actually is. And the Thurisaz rune is all about the thorn. It's the pain. It's the point in which it feels like we're getting beat up and put to the test. This is talking about those moments in which you have been tried and pushed and hurt and bullied, and how you have elegantly rose up from that, just like the swan, to say, you know what? I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm brave. I know I'm worthy. And this is who I am. So I'm going to read so this is from the Journey of Love. And if you guys don't have any Elena Fairchild decks and you are looking for Oracle decks, Elena Fairchild's decks are amazing. Amazing. She is one of my favorites. She does the Rumi deck as well, and that's one of my favorites. But each one of these cards has a poem that goes with it. This one is so simplistic, so beautiful, and even the imagery is simplistic and beautiful. It says, "To love from afar, all we share are dreams of what will unfold." And I'm looking at this card, and even though it's the swan, it actually looks to me like a hat. And when you think about dreams, you think about your head and your crown chakra. This is literally saying the dreams that you have, Spirit has as well. Now, when we look at the Willow card, when I think about Willow, of course, first of all, I think about my dog, naturally. But I also think about why my dog's name is Willow. I didn't intend on naming her Willow. I thought that her name was Penelope. And that was my intention. I was going to name her Penelope and call her Penny. And that was just what it was going to be, because that was what was in my head. But as I looked at her and I was like trying the name on in my head, I heard my name isn't Penelope. And I said, okay, well, what's your name? And I heard my name is Willow. And I said, oh, okay, so her name is Willow. And then I heard Willow Ash, like ash rising from the ash, but also the ash tree. It was named after 2 trees. So her name is Willow Ash. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then directly after that, the song Transparent Soul by the band Willow and Travis Barker came on the radio. And I was like, well, I mean, there you go. But a willow tree stands for fertility. It stands for movability. It stands for being able to grow in the harshest environments. We think about a willow and we think like weeping willows, or we think about Pocahontas, which actually came through as a channel for you guys. But we think about these pieces of things, but like even the name Weeping Willow sounds so sad. But the truth about a willow tree is that you can take a branch, a healthy branch from the willow tree, and you can cut it from the tree, and it doesn't hurt the tree and it doesn't hurt the branch. Because what the branch knows is that once it gets cut from the tree itself, now it's a healthy branch getting cut from the tree. Now that it's cut from the tree, it knows that it can be planted. It knows that it gets to become its very own tree. So this is all about you learning that in the times in which you have felt the most pain, and I'm feeling like pain in my heart, pain from family, pain from friends, pain from where you grew up and how you grew up and where, and all of these things that, you know, it never should have been like that. But what I'm getting here is that you have had these moments where you've grown up in these ways and people have really just taken advantage of you and hurt you and hindered you. And it has kept you from wanting to be the phoenix. But when you keep yourself back from becoming the phoenix, you keep yourself in that ugly duckling energy, but you're the swan, you're the phoenix, you're the willow branch, not the willow tree. It's time for you to allow yourself to see how healthy and how whole you are, and cut yourself away from the mainstream, the main way of doing things, and see that you are meant to thrive on your own, thrive and build of your own so that you can give to others. You know, we think about trees and we think about family trees, and sometimes in family trees, certain branches need to be culled from the rest. Sometimes it's because that branch is no longer in existence, you know, like a family line dies out. Sometimes a single branch of a family breaks off because they know that they no longer resonate with the family. And in order for the true growth in that family line to occur, they have to allow for that growth to be planted elsewhere. You know, we can either grow up and live in the same place and do the same things and be around all the same people, or we can allow ourselves to be transplanted into another area, into more fertile soil. And I just keep being brought back to healthy branch, healthy branch, healthy branch. It's understanding that you are now a healthy branch on this tree, and it's time for you to separate yourself, because even if you are the healthiest, but the tree itself is not healthy, then you can get, I don't want to say disease because it just sounds so negative, but you can be hindered by what the tree is. So Spirit and your guides are really coming forth and saying you are the healthy branch ready to be cut away and planted in new soil, in new fertile ground. And this doesn't mean that you have to change your whole life. This means that because we're with the swan card, the hat, the crown came through. This is about planting your mentality in a place in which it's meant to nurture you, to fuel you, to grow you, instead of in a place that diminishes you. And we can find that all over the place. And, you know, I find it really funny because if you are on TikTok, and I know you're on YouTube because you're watching this, but if you're on TikTok, there are so many times that I've heard people be like, oh, I found myself on the wrong side of TikTok. Well, you can find yourself on the wrong side of YouTube as well. You know, like all of a sudden you find yourself down a rabbit hole of videos, and now your algorithm has completely changed and you don't know what the heck you're doing. But all the videos that you're being suggested are just like out of the norm, not what you're used to. It's finding yourself on the wrong side. Right now, you're on the wrong side of the willow tree. And Spirit is like, okay, it's time to put you back over here, because over here is where your growth is going to be. Over here is where your healthiness is going to be. Over here is not what's feeding you. So we have oracle cards to really get this set up to just kind of expand upon this right now. And I know I didn't mention it in the intro, but for your pile in particular, I am being drawn to the power symbol and letting you guys know, in case you're new to my channel, all month of November, I am actually channeling Reiki through all my readings. And so if you choose to accept the energy, all you have to do is say, I accept the Reiki healing energy from this reading, and the Reiki energy will flow. I just have my channel open for healing during this. So we're going to take a look at the cards. For your guys's in particular, this is about your transformation. And then we're going to look at your destiny and the dreams that you have, as well as the kind of essence of where you're at right now. Each one of the piles, the cards came out differently. They came out in different numbers, in different amounts, and everything like that. And so each one has very unique to the pile energies. I don't know why I'm telling you guys that, but I'm sure that it resonates or needs to be said. So usually when I feel like I need to say something, it's because somebody is asking. So if you were mentally asking Spirit, like, why am I going through all of this? This is why. All right, so let's look at your past transformation and the transformation that you're heading towards right now. We have Crystal Cave and Trust with the card 9. I'm not surprised at all. And then we have, that's beautiful, 38, Spirit Guardian of Winter, Retreat. I am not going to pick apart the numbers with your pile. You can if you feel so inclined. I just heard, well, can I? Yes, you can. go for it. So what I'm seeing here is that with this crystal cave and the word trust is a really hard thing. I talk all the time. I tell my kids this. I tell my husband this. Everybody knows, if you break my trust, one of the hardest things to do is earn back my trust. Because I used to just give trust freely like it was candy at a parade. Like, you get trust and you get trust. I was seriously the Oprah of trust. And the problem with that is that I got burned. I got burned so much. I got screwed over left, right, and center all the time. 7 ways till Sunday, every day. Someone would break my trust. Why? Because I was just, I believed it was because I was naive. But in reality, it's because I was moving from the purest essence of who I am. And that's something that you guys have likely been in a state of in your life. When you move from the purest essence of who you are, from that innocent inner child nature that you have within you, that's what you do. You give trust. You do it freely, you do it openly, and you do it without hesitation. But it does not mean that it does not cause pain. We do have the willow here, and you're being called to cut yourself away from something. And that requires a high level of trust, a level of trust in things and people and places that you don't know right now. Guys, I gotta tell you, like, your energy reminds me of mine so much, because that trust thing has been a really strong factor for me. And it's been more than anything, it's been about trusting myself rather than trusting other people, because I'm the person who I will trust someone. And then when they break that trust, I will be like, what could I have done better? What did I do wrong? And yes, I get that's pretty masochistic of me, but you know what? It's okay, because I don't do that anymore. Instead, what I do is say, okay, what did I learn from this? And how can I move forward without this negatively impacting me? It's about learning how to trust yourself and trust what the cycles of your life are. Trust who you are and what is going on. Now, with the willow and the spirit guardian of winter, where you're heading towards now, because I feel like you're learning deeply how to trust in your own personal power. And we've got an amethyst here. So this is about your crown chakra. So you may have been learning to trust spirit, especially very, very strongly. But the spirit guardian of winter with retreat and willow. So when you cut a willow branch, there are very specific times of the year in which you can actually plant the branch. So if you cut it in the fall, even though it's a healthy branch, you still have to nurture that indoors throughout the winter. This is the energy that I'm picking up. It's like, okay, cut yourself away and nurture yourself through this winter phase. Nurture yourself through the winter season. This may just be about the actual season itself. Nurture yourself through this. Don't try and fix the tree, but rather cut yourself from the tree, plant yourself somewhere nice and warm, and nurture yourself until spring comes, where you can see the fertile ground that you're meant to plant yourself in and plant yourself there. It's about learning how to care for yourself first and foremost. And that's what I'm getting from the spirit guardian of winter and retreat. I'm not getting that you're meant to like cut yourself off from the world and go like full hermit cave mode, because that's where you've been. No. Now you're in this phase of let me do things at my own pace. Let me do things in my own time. Let me do things in my own way, because I'm no longer attached to the rotting tree of distrust, mistrust, misplaced trust, pain, anguish. I'm no longer tied to the pain and the thorns of the past. I now see that this is something that I can move forward with. I know my own strength to overcome. So let's take a look at your destiny and your dream. Your destiny is pleasure. This is exactly what I was saying. It's moving into a state of I'm going to do things my way at my own pace in my own time. I'm not going to pander to somebody else because that's not what I'm meant to do. I'm going to step all the way into taking care of myself. You know, I was talking to somebody just recently about learning to take care of oneself. And one of the things that I learned recently is about really like it was my sister-in-law. I was like, who was it I was talking to? It was my sister-in-law. She's got a baby, like my little baby Gracie. She's my niece, but she's my baby Gracie. My little baby Gracie, she's nearly a year old. And my sister Casey she's so tired. She's a mom, but this is new to her. And even before becoming a mom, she wasn't really sure how to take care of herself. And I've been there in that position myself. And even now, I'm still currently learning how to care for myself properly. I am learning how to do spiritual cleanses and do spiritual baths and spiritual showers. So I talk to her about stuff that I do on the daily. I take a shower, I call in the elements. I talk about the spiritual shower all the time on my channel because it is so revolutionary for my life. And so if it's revolutionary for me, you might as well try it because hell, what could go wrong aside from like maybe it doesn't work for you, it's not your path. That's fine. But the point here is that sometimes we forget how enjoyable this life is meant to be because we're so caught up in what has happened and how it has hurt us and how we can elevate and how we can rise and how we can move forward and whether we're where we're meant to be and whether we're living our dreams and this and that. Like there's so many things that our brains do that hold us back from feeling true pleasure, true enjoyment. This retreat card is like, can you put yourself in a warm bubble bath in your head? Put yourself in a warm bubble bath. Now you get out of the warm bubble bath and you wrap yourself up with like the fuzziest, comfiest robe ever. Slip your feet into like self-warming slippers that are super soft and memory foam so that it's like walking on a cloud. And now you leave that bathroom and you go and you sit in front of a fireplace, and the fireplace is burning real logs. So it smells like cherry and apple wood and this essence of earth and fire together, blending all around you, wrapping around you this warmth and this joy. And then you have this hot cup of cocoa. And it's got all those little mini marshmallows that you loved so much as a kid. And you can feel in your heart just the leap of your inner child. Like, oh my gosh, it's such a treat. But for your adult self, you sprinkle some cinnamon on top. You put a little whipped cream on top and you know that you're indulging a little bit here. You're indulging just a bit into some simple pleasures in life. And then you sit there and you hear the crackling of the fire. And, you know, if you're a parent, you hear your kids laughing in the other room. But you're in this zen of peace and they're not fighting. They're just giggling and enjoying themselves. And your significant other comes in and sits down and wraps their arms around you and starts rubbing your back and motioning your back. And you're in this state. And outside your door, the whole world is a flurry of snow, but you are in this bubble of warmth, this bubble of enjoyment. That energy is what Spirit wants you to plant yourself in. That is the energy Spirit wants you in. That visual that I had was so vivid. I could feel it. I could smell it. I could taste the chocolate. It was intense. This is something Spirit wants you to do. Sometimes we can be in, say, like a summer phase in our life, and it's really exciting, but there are still times where we're asked to tap into the different seasons so we can rest, so we can enjoy, so we can step into this state. Now you're being asked to step into a state of pleasure. This is your destiny. Your destiny is literally to experience life in all of it's such Venusian energy here. It's just the purity of experience, but you have to trust that this is what you're meant to do. So let's look at your dreams here before we move forward. 21, first breath, beginner's mind. See that when you when you overcomplicate things, when you look at things as though it has to be this way because that's how it always has been, that's when it gets difficult. This first breath and beginner's mind is telling me that same message about being in the summer phase, but tapping into a winter day. It's about knowing that things may be picking up and really exciting and really everything, but you still need to take the time out, take the retreat, take the breath, take the breather. But even with this, the beginner's mind, Spirit's asking you to plant yourself somewhere new. Spirit is saying, it doesn't matter if you're continuing moving on the same path. It's time to plant your mind elsewhere. Plant your mind in the beginner's mindset with the wisdom that you have attained. Plant yourself in this place where you know what you're doing, but every moment that you experience it is something brand new, because it's in that you really take off and take flight. So let's take a look at this one. And this is the El Kui card. And I am again giving a nod to Baba Jolie because I'm going to use her method and say the one who instead of she who, because this is not gender specific. It's just about the energy. So we have Abenolaka. I'm just going to move it up. It's she who battles, justice, fierce, commitment. This right here, all the battles, all the wars that you've waged, everything that you've had to do, now you're being asked to stand in this commitment to who you are, this commitment to your strength, and say, you know what? I am strong enough now that I know that I will not be hurt again by anybody else. And because of that, I am no longer going to fight a battle that isn't mine to fight. I'm going to cut myself from this and plant myself elsewhere. It's almost like you're going AWOL in the battle, but in reality, what you're doing is you're going where you're meant to go. I'm hearing, children go where I send thee. It's, I'm going to clear this off and we're going to pull some more cards. It's, children go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? I'm going to send thee one by one. One for the little bitty baby. Born in Bethlehem. So, sorry. And I know my singing is so off because my throat is so raw. But that song, while yes, it's from Sunday school when I was a kid, but when I was starting mediumship reads, like when I was starting doing readings for other people, I would get messages from crossed over loved ones for people that I did not want to give messages to. Like genuinely, my ex-husband's mistress and her mother energy came in, and I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And the reason why is because there was pain there. There was pain, there was betrayal, it was bad. It was horrible and painful. And so no, I didn't want to be the medium to do this. I said, can it go through somebody else? Well, I kept hearing children go where I send thee, children go where I send thee. And if you have religious trauma, please know that I am in no way, shape, or form talking about organized religion. If you're new to my channel, you may not know this, but if you're not new, you know I do not subscribe to organized religion because organized religion traumatized me. And so I believe what I believe, and I believe everybody is free to believe what they want to believe. I don't judge you for yours. Please don't judge me for mine. But with this frame of reference that I had, this children go where I send thee, I kept hearing it. And finally, I sat outside with my husband on the porch. And this was back when I was vaping and he's a smoker. And so I was talking to him and I said, okay, this is what's been going on. And I said, every time that I've done this and I've heard this, it's been the right message. It's been everything was right. All of that. I said, but I feel like if I do this, I close out a cycle. I close out a cycle, like a 10-year cycle. Because this was back in 2021. And when I first got this message, it was in 2011. The message hadn't changed. In 10 years, it was the exact same mediumship message that I had gotten from the very start. And I was getting it again, all over again. Well, I reached out to her and I gave her the message, and I came to find out that at the time that the message came in the first time, which I knew this part, she was about to get married. I found out the second time she again was about to get remarried to somebody else. And so I gave her the message, and it was like closing that chapter was one of the most relieving things, because what I was able to do was essentially cut myself from the branch of fear surrounding my gifts that happened during that time and plant myself somewhere that was healthy. Plant myself somewhere that was fertile. Plant myself somewhere that would grow me. And this happened, and then I went on this huge solo journey. So we've got the Devil and the Nine of Wands. You see, this is where you've been. You have been in this Devil and this Nine of Wands energy. And this is literally what I was talking about. I was able to pull myself out of that. And this is what you're being asked to do. This is how you really become the Phoenix. We've got the Two of Wands. Oh my gosh, did I not say that you guys had the strength to do this? The Strength card and the Tower. No, the Tower is not bad, I promise. This is literally saying, like, initiate it yourself. And then we've got the Lovers on the back. This is about the hurts, the pains that you've had. But the Lovers card to me is not about two people together. It's about decisions that you've made. This is telling me that your guides and spirit are saying, to rise like the Phoenix, you have to see that you're ready to move forward into a future that has everything to do with what is right for you. This Tower card, look at all of the roots of this tower itself. This is literally saying, once you plant yourself, cut yourself from that tree and plant yourself somewhere different, that's when your real growth takes off. But you have to plant yourself in the fertile mentality. And a lot of the time when you plant yourself in the fertile mentality, and I'm really sorry to say this, guys, because I feel like I'm going to get, well, I'm just going to say it. A lot of the times when you plant yourself in the fertile mentality, you also have to face all of the times where you've been weak, all of the times where you've been in this energy and responded in this energy. This is when I come in and I say, hurt people. And I'm always that person where I know that because I used to be a hurt person and I used to hurt people. See, we've got soul work. This is, and as if I was going to be able to fight it before, like soul work popping out is literally just slamming it into me. This is about you apologizing if you've done wrong to another person, because sometimes when we come from a place of strength, when we come from this place of being a thorn or being hurt, we don't realize that we're hurting other people. And one of the best ways that we heal ourselves is by apologizing. We give ourselves forgiveness, we give others forgiveness, but we also have to open the door to allow others to forgive us. And if I have to tell you guys, like, I'm no innocent person in this. Like, I have hurt people before and I have had to apologize for that. I have also had other people hurt me and never once have they apologized. Never once. I actually would love to see that from a couple of people, but I understand that they're on a different path on their soul journey. So for me, it's you have to be the change you wish to see in the world. So that means to me that if I want to see an apology, I have to give them out. And it doesn't mean that you apologize to the person who hurt you. You apologize to the people that you hurt in response because of the person who hurt you. For instance, I've apologized to my husband a lot for reactions that I've had that have nothing to do with him, but have everything to do with the triggers from my abusive first marriage. Whoa, too many. Can I get one more? Thank you. Ask body. All right, and on the back, we have death. I literally picked this up. I picked up the death energy. This is transformation. Death energy, Scorpio energy. It's becoming the Phoenix. Ask your body what it is that it's holding on to. When you ask your body what it is that it's holding on to, you're going to see the areas of your body in which your pains are being held. And for me, one of the things that I've been experiencing is pain in my heart, like physical pain in my heart, physical pain in my heart and my arm. And it's about letting certain things go, letting certain pains go, certain experiences go. Going through a phase like this, it's November 3rd right now as I'm filming this, but you guys are going to see this on November 8th, and I'm going to cry here, but November 7th is my dad's birthday, and my dad has been dead since I was 10, so I mean 25 years, but I still carry pains of it within me, and I'm still working on releasing those pains. And this right now is me coming to like this understanding that I had to learn a lesson in order to talk to you guys, that sometimes our bodies carry these pains. They carry these pains, and they're pains that aren't ours. Because this never felt like my own pain. But how we use that pain is turning it into inspiration. We take that pain and we transform it into something of light. We take it and we use it to show the world our own light. And we've got clarity. Yeah, see, this is how you gain your clarity. And I'm still seeing all these trees in the background. You guys, and good luck here. If you want to transform your life, you have to find the inspiration from the pains, find the inspiration from all of the times you've been hurt, and then realize that, you know, even if hurt people and you've done wrongs and you've done this and you've done that, does that make you a bad person? No. And for somebody like the energy that I'm feeling, for someone like you to recognize that and to do the work in order to find the inspiration to keep moving forward, to plant yourself somewhere new, and to realize that you were really just at the mercy of the toxicity that you were in. Now you can transform this. Now you can phoenix. Now you can rise. Now you have your clarity that you needed. You have your clarity because you can see all the different ways in which everything is interconnected, because now you've cut yourself from the toxicity. And I tell you guys what, I've cut myself from toxicity 10 times over. I am very careful about allowing people into my world, into my energy, into anything, because I've dealt with enough toxicity and I have people that matter to me. I have things that matter to me that need protection. And so I trust spirit to protect these things. And I stand as like myself apart so that I know that everything is protected. Sometimes you have to cut that toxicity out. Sometimes that's all you're called to do is cut toxicity out, because once you cut it out, that's when the tower falls. But the tower falls in a way that teaches you what you need to learn. You have such true strength, as above, so below. You have the strength of the sun and the moon, the strength of the stars. You have all the strength within you. But if you have all this strength within you and you are not in touch with your body, you're not in touch with your mind, you're not in touch with your soul, you're going to have a tower moment that literally rocks your world. Or you can choose to cut yourself free of the tree and move yourself into a state where you are actually really expanding everything. So let's see what your last card is. Oh my God, you guys, oh my God, look. Energetic clearing, cut the toxicity. During crises, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Thank you, Spirit. Like, you guys literally watched it fall out. You cannot make this stuff up. You may be, Kali Ma may be one of your guides, maybe your primary guide. If not, she may be just calling to you right now to help you with this. Help you with that strength to cut things away. The strength card with the tower card is so very much Kali Ma energy. And I love Kali Ma. I actually just recently did a ritual with her and my husband to clear all the clutter and the confusion from our marriage. And sometimes you just have to do that because the past needs to be cleansed out. And look, this is you. Like, she's over top of you. She's cutting all of these cords away. She's healing you. She's taking from you all the things that no longer serve you. And look, you're shrouded in green. You're shrouded in love. This is showing you what you have the potential to be, rooted in love, grown in love, 100%. And that's all we want in this life is love. And Spirit always has that for us, but we have to clear all of the past out in order to get there. At the back, we have companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. You are learning what kind of benefit it is to let go of the pains of the past, to stop punishing yourself for the decisions that you've made, and to say, I am ready to be open to, whether it's relationships, friendships, partnerships in business, whatever it is, you're ready and aware and prepared. All you have to do is allow for this clearing to happen, and you can call on Kali Ma, you can call on Spirit. If there are apologies you need to make them, including to yourself. Make them and free yourself, because that's what your soul is calling for you to do. Now, with your pile, I'm going to roll the mindfulness dice here just to get some final messages. Seriously, find forgiveness, show gratitude, be mindful of your breath. That's your ask body. And take space with that winter retreat. I think we're done here. Pile 2, this is incredible. If this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I do want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection between us. Thank you so much, Spirit, for these messages, for the synchronicities, for the clarity, for all of it. Thank you. And if you guys are feeling so inclined, check the description box below. You are going to find links to my author page, links to donate, and links to book a personal reading. Don't forget to check out Alyssa and Celtic Fairy Tarot with her first part of this, Into the Flames, Becoming the Phoenix. I, again, want to say thank you so much to Alyssa. This has been such an amazing, amazing reading and amazing energies to work with between her channel and mine. And I am super excited for further collaborations. So with all that said, I want to say I love you guys one more time. Let me know in the comment section below. Let all of us know in the comment section below just how amazing you are. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the third crystal and card, the Ansuz, as well as the card Mustard, this is your message about rising from the ashes and becoming the phoenix. So I wanted to actually start with this Sacred Convergence card, card number 28. And I did want to note, like, we have 28 and then 29. So this is definitely about moving forward. This is definitely about some sort of progressive energy going on with you guys. That is the first thing that I noticed. But with this Sacred Convergence card, this is from the Journey of Love deck. And I'm actually just going to read the poem that comes with it. Each card has a poem. So this one says, from the white foam on a surface of blue to the mystery beneath the waves. Wherever your travels may lead, may the artist's touch inspire us to explore the ocean realm and celebrate the beauty as land gives way to water and water to the unknown. This Sacred Convergence card talks about a coming together of the mind and the body. But what I'm actually seeing here is actually what looks like soul family. It looks like somebody who has been on a journey for a very long time, coming together with a lot of their soul family. There's this essence of finding the right lighthouse, essentially. Now, the mustard with the Ansuz is actually the stone of Odin, or the mouth of the gods. It's about the way that you communicate. So you may be channelers, psychics, mediums. You may just be inspirational or motivational speakers as well. Authors, podcasters, YouTubers. You're my psychics, my creatives, kind of blended together into one. And Odin and his energy, he really does bestow a lot of power, but a lot of grace as well, for he had to be the All-Father. He knew his role was one of vast importance. And he stood very tall in that. Now, the mustard card actually talks about that. And I'm actually being brought to a story that I remember hearing. I just don't remember where it came from, about a student who had a small like locket. And in that locket was a mustard seed. And the student wore the locket with the mustard seed around their neck all the time. And it was a metaphor. Because a mustard seed is so, so tiny. Like they're teeny, teeny, tiny. They're like one of these tiny little spots on the card. So they are itty, itty, bitty things. You know, a mustard seed is tiny. But if you've ever tasted mustard, you know that mustard packs a punch. It's for something so small, it contains so much. And this is really talking about a multitude of things, but the mustard card talks about, you know, focusing on the big picture all the time. Sometimes you have to focus on the minutia, the smaller aspects, the finer details. At the same time, it's important to remember that a mustard seed is so tiny, but it is impactful in its pungency. And no, I'm not calling you guys pungent, of course, but this is about knowing the impact of the words that you speak, knowing the impact of the wisdom that you have, and bringing that wisdom into the world. We can think that we're just a small part of the whole. And yeah, sure, we can be a small part of the whole, but mustard is a small part of the whole, and mustard leaves a lasting taste in someone's mouth. Like it's always there. It's so strong. And this is saying, like, you have this air about you, and it's not a negative thing, even though some people might be off put by it, because not everybody likes mustard, but you know, some people might be off put by it, but that doesn't mean that it's unworthy. And all of this here is, like, all of the colors are telling me this is about speaking your personal power into this world, into your life. You know, Bahati Life, Jessica Alexandria from Bahati Life, she says something that really, really resonates with me, that has always resonated with me. She talks about speaking life into things, speaking life over your life, speaking life into your projects, into your manifestations, into your prayers, into your children, into your home, speaking life over things. It's about speaking things into an active state, speaking about things in a positive way. And the mustard card says, to me, what it says is it doesn't matter whether someone else is negative about you. Those who love you, love you. They love you. And when you speak more life and more power and more personal power into everything that you do, you're going to see as all the pieces of who you are come together, form into one. And then from there, you shine forth. And those people who are meant to be in your life, those also come in to you. So if you guys couldn't tell, I am sipping tea again today because I'm still sick and right now waiting to hear back from the doctor because my face just exploded in sinus pain today, which is usually my sign that if I don't get it taken care of soon, it's going to hit my ears and hit my lungs. Not what I want, but I know my body well enough. So what we're going to do here, we're going to actually look at the cards. We're looking for you guys in particular, because everybody, the cards that came out differently. So for your pile especially, there was a lot of like, who am I energy, tell me the truth energy, I'm ready to hear it energy, and a lot of shift energy, a lot of transitional energy. So I'm going based off of what each deck's title is for what they're representing here. So with these two cards and these two cards, we've got the past and then we have a forward progress. So with the past, we're looking at kind of your archetypal energy as well as what destined path you are on. Now we're going to be looking at a destined path that you're now taking and what archetypal energy you're being called to. This is the card that is all about your transformation, and this card is about your dreams. Now, it does not surprise me that your dreams and your transformation are the same. Just because they're on opposite sides, they actually both apply to both situations, which means that you're choosing the path, but it's choosing the path with the purpose remaining the same is what I'm hearing. So when we think about our path, we can think about a life path as being like, oh, this is what I have to do. But what we do is the purpose. The reason is the purpose. How we do it is the purpose. Which direction we take, which avenue, which modality. So for instance, say that your life purpose is to paint spirit into existence. Okay? That's your life purpose. You are here to paint spirit into existence. Now, this is actually someone's life purpose in this group. I don't know who, but I picked out an energy because a lot of life purposes popped forward. This is what I got. If it helps you guys, my life purpose is to humanize spirit. It's to humanize spirit and to show each and every one of us how uniquely human we are, so that we know how uniquely connected to spirit we are. But that's just kind of broad. Anyway, your life purpose is to paint spirit into existence. That's a big task, right? Like it may feel like a big task. Okay, so now you have your purpose. You've got this big, big, big thing, the path, the destined path that you take. That's, well, do you want to use watercolors? Do you want to do it on canvas? Do you want to paint it with your words? Do you want to paint it with actual paint? Do you want to paint it with melted crayons and just like squish them around? Sorry, guys, I got that as a visual. So some of you may be like drawn to crayon painting. Is that a thing? Crayon painting? It's interesting. I know I had a crayon painting for my daughter where like she glued them all to the top and then blow dried them so that it would sink down. I had that. But this is different. It's like taking crayons and turning it into paint and then painting with it. It's crazy. It's like, it's like a kindergarten thing that sounds so freaking fun. I want to do it. Like I want to finger paint with crayons. Okay. I know that was weird, but that's okay. So the path is changing for you guys. That's what I'm getting, is the path is changing. So you may be like, okay, maybe I need to expand. A path can change through expansion. If you think about it, roads in the United States, and I'm going to use that just because I live in the States. You may not, but this is my frame of reference. So roads in the United States, we used to have gravel roads, and we still have some gravel roads. So it's made of gravel. And then the busier the road became, the more that they would need to keep up on it. And gravel roads are really hard to maintain all the time. What's easier to maintain is asphalt. So let's pave the road. Now the road has been paved. So now they have to widen the road so that they can have 2 lanes of traffic. Now the road is getting busier and busier because people are moving into this city and moving into this city, but they're traveling back and forth often. So now that road is way busier. So they need to add either a second road or add more lanes. Now they have to expand the road. So you can expand your path. You add more lanes. It's like Chloe Taylor. Chloe Taylor has a YouTube channel. Okay, she does tarot readings on YouTube. But over time, she also realized that she needed to expand her path. So she started doing podcasts. So now she has that. It's the same path. It's the same purpose that she has here. But the path has expanded. The path has now changed. Jessica Alexandria from Bahati Life, she's another great example of that, where she had a YouTube channel and an apothecary. And now she has expanded that into a podcast and expanded it into Queen Bee Homestead. So she expanded her business and added extra layers, but so she's essentially going from a 2-lane highway to a 4-lane highway. You're asked to either expand or change the path. You may have been doing, say, YouTube videos, and now it doesn't resonate anymore. So you're being asked to change the ways in which you paint spirit into existence, or speak spirit into existence, or for me, humanize spirit. So now you have that as your awareness. This is how you move forward. But the first thing that we have to look at is how you are rising from the ashes. So let's take a look. We have courage. I love that. I love this courage card. It is so, so beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's like a perfectly captured moment out at sea. It's just, you can almost, if you look at it for long enough, you can actually almost hear the seagulls and hear the waves crashing. And this is the Alcuin deck. And I know I've done this in other readings before, but I'm going to give a nod to Baba Jolie's guided messages because she uses it in this way. And I am taking her inspiration and also applying it so that this is not gender specific. And I'm using the one who. So it says the one who knows, Yelena, wisdom, clarity, and resolution. So what this tells me is that you got to a point, and courage really does. The Mustard card really talks about courage. It's about the courage of standing up into your power, into what you feel is a smallness or a uniqueness, and saying, I'm here, I'm loud, I'm proud, and no one is going to stop me. It's knowing all of the bigger picture, so now you can work on the finer details of everything, and you have gotten that wisdom and that clarity to move forward. Now you can courageously step into a state where you are the lighthouse instead of seeking a lighthouse. You have now become what you were seeking. And that's the trick. The whole trick is you became what you were seeking. And that's something that's so beautiful because, I'm being brought to Frozen 2 with you guys. So in Frozen 2, if you haven't seen it, spoilers, so please fast forward it or something. But if you've never seen Frozen 2, or rather, if you've seen Frozen 2, there's a scene with Elsa where she's going into a cave area and she's seeking what is making noise, essentially. It's the and she can hear it, but she's the only one who hears it, and she's looking for it. And as she's going in, she's singing the song. Let me do a quick little search here because I actually told my husband about this song yesterday. Show yourself. Sorry. I know I'm musical right now. So she's singing the song Show Yourself. And what she realizes as she's going in there is that what she's been seeking is her. So she's seeking the fifth element. We've got 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And she's seeking the fifth element that is spirit. What she doesn't realize is she is the fifth element. Just like I am the fifth element, you are the fifth element. We are all the fifth element. We are all spirit. And it's in going in and finding out that she is what she was seeking, that she finally comes fully into all of her power, into all of her gifts, into where she belongs. So she no longer feels like she is a stranger in a familiar land. Now she is a familiar person in a familiar land, and she now is just happy and finds herself exactly where she is meant to be. She becomes the lighthouse. She becomes what she was seeking. And that's what you guys did. You became the thing that you were seeking. And you may have done this without even realizing that you were seeking you the whole time. You weren't seeking spirit. Spirit wasn't seeking you because you are spirit and spirit is you. You weren't seeking approval or awareness or even enlightenment. You were just simply seeking yourself. You were seeking approval from yourself. You needed to find yourself in order to love yourself. And now that you found yourself and love yourself, you've brought it all together. So you've stepped so courageously into a state of being that You really do know that it doesn't matter. You could be 5'4" and hear all the time that you're so cute. I want to put you in my pocket. And you know what? I say that to people too, because it's just something my grandma used to say. And my grandma's like 5'2". So it's something that she used to say all the time. And so it's just something that I have gotten used to saying. But that's the thing, is you may be very small, but you have, your energy is powerful. Your perspective is powerful. Your wisdom is powerful. Your resolution and your courage, that's powerful. You know what you want and you say, I don't care what anyone else says. I'm going to get it. And the best part about this is you have the courage to know yourself. And when you have the courage to know yourself, then no one else can ever tell you anything about yourself. Nothing that you don't already know. So whenever somebody such as myself does a reading like this, all it is confirmation. And if it doesn't feel like confirmation, then you know, hey, not for me anymore. It could have been an old version of you, but it's not anymore. And I actually experienced that just today watching a reading. I was like, that totally was me. Dude, I've grown so much. I've healed so much. And that was because I realized I was listening to something that would have resonated so deeply, but it resonates with who I was, not with who I am. And that's such a beautiful moment in time when you have something that resonates with a past version of yourself and you can still listen to it and there are no triggers. It's freedom. That's just plain flat out, it's freedom. So let's see. We have security as where you're headed. Ooh, I like that. It's got cave paintings. And then the one who hopes, Rune, and love, hope, and relationships. Look how much darker these are. These are very light. It's kind of like you had to be the darkness in the brightest places. You had to embody the darkness in the brightest places in order to realize that you are the brightness in the darkness, that you are the light in the darkness. You had to experience the opposite to realize who you truly are. And now you're stepping into a state where you feel so secure in yourself that you know what you bring to the table. You know that this is who I am and this is what I have to offer. And so I know that my relationships are going to meet me at exactly that. You're moving now into a state in which you are firm in yourself, you are strong, and you hope. But this hope is laced with this understanding, this awareness, this expectation of this is exactly how it's going to be and I won't accept anything else. It's very similar to like law of attraction, but there's such a like heart-centered focus of it. And the security tells me that you guys are feeling firm in who you are, strong in who you are, and that you're awakening some very, very ancient parts of yourself. And when I say awakening like ancient parts of yourself, I do mean like from like the Bronze Age time frames, you guys are awakening parts of yourself. That's what I'm getting here. A lot. Like a lot. Okay. So let's take a look at your dreams and your transformation. I apologize, guys, if I seem a little distracted right now. My brain is like, my forehead feels like it's going to explode. So for your dreams, we have 54, the crossing with initiation. And then we have Frog Spirit Renewal and the card 20. I love this for you guys. Okay, so frogs are deeply transformative creatures. They are also all about cleansing. This one in particular talks about renewal. And, you know, the frog has a little crown, which is ridiculously cute. You guys may be drawn to The Princess and the Frog. And I definitely have never seen it. It's on my to-watch list. I'm going to have to do that tonight. Because my daughter, Eliza, keeps going, Mom, please, Mom, please, Mom, please. Okay, but at the core of everything, your dream is literally to be initiated into a place. It's to cross. You know what it is? It's literally, you want to cross the bridge into security. And I just saw 2211. You want to cross that bridge into security. You want to cross that bridge into awareness, into stability. It's like you want to cross the bridge. I don't want the other shoe to drop. There are so many things that I'm hearing, but it's not even that you don't want those things. It's like, okay, I've experienced times where all my blessings came in and then they all fell apart. I'm ready for different. I am ready for me to cross into this portal of everything is better. The relationships that I have clung to that actually genuinely mean something, those are cleansed. My work situation, that's renewed. My friendships, those are true. Those are firm. Those are strong. And I am strong in myself and my path. This is what I'm getting from you guys. It's this awareness that when you know, you hope. When you hope, you know. So your past and your future self are kind of converging in on your present moment as well to help renew your energy in this moment. And as your energy renews, then you will start to rise up even more from where you're at. I don't actually see much of a difference between the past and the future energy for you guys. And the reason why I say that is just because of the way that the energy feels. And to me, it feels a lot like, well, you know what? Looking at the Sacred Convergence and the mustard card, that's kind of what it feels like. It's like you're going from the mustard seed to actual mustard. You're becoming fluid. So you know that you can move around, you can change, you can flex, and you also know that you go with a lot of different things. Mustard is used in so many different things, from sandwiches to salad dressings to all sorts of different things. Meats, sauces, like you're becoming ever more versatile as you bring in all these parts of yourself. And this versatility really does help shape so much. So there is a big call for you to trust your heart here. But this is more so your solar plexus. Like you're my solar plexus energy today. I say it's not quite the same as like my Reiki pile, but like it's kind of like you guys are my little solar plexus pile. You're my little angels of self-empowerment. And when I say angels, I do mean like avenging angels, because I quite literally just like, have you ever seen, if you're short, please don't take offense to this, but I swear like short redheads know this, because I have, my sister is short and she wouldn't call it red hair, but I do. And she's got a temper on her. So like, don't say certain things because she's fierce. I'm sorry. I'm feeling so weird with you guys right now, but I love that. And that's the thing. You guys really are like mustard. It's such a weird condiment, but it's so good. And I love it so much personally. And with it being yellow, it's like you guys have the weirdest, the most unique, individualized way of being empowered within yourself. It's like Urkel from Family Matters. Like, I'm literally seeing Steve Urkel from Family Matters when he really realizes like my genius is my power. It's my personal empowerment, and it doesn't matter whether I look any specific way. I am lovable as I am. It's just such a powerful thing. And I feel like you guys are there. It's not that you're becoming that. You're there. We've got the Conqueror of Cups, the Knight of Cups. See, and a lot of this has to do with your relationships. Your relationships may have been rocky for a really long time, and you struggled to feel courageous or feel steady within them. Got the 9 of Wands. And that had a lot to do with the fact that you didn't feel worthy. The Conqueror of Wands. Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Two of Wands. That's a lot of fire and water energy. And that's the thing is it. Okay. We're going to put these off to the side here. I know that they're important because I got a message from them, but it doesn't feel right here. This is about your relationships. So with your relationships, we've got the 7 of Coins and the 4 of Cups. There we go. And then the 4 of Wands at the end. So I'm going to get the message from these 2 cards. You guys have a very unique way of the energy going through here. On the back, we have the 3 of Coins. Okay, I want to discuss these 2 first. So we've got the 7 of Coins and the 4 of Cups. And what these cards just literally came out to give a message as I was talking about relationships. So your relationships may have been on rocky grounds. Like, I don't know how to balance this out. I don't know how to manage this. I don't know how to make this what it is. And it's literally just because you needed the courage to just be yourself. You needed to be weird. You needed to you just need to be weird. And if you're not in a relationship, this is the trick. That's the trick. You need to be able to be weird. So what this is telling me is it matters what you work on. It matters what you focus on. So the 7 of Coins talks about what you have planted, what you are nurturing, what you are growing. And the 4 of Cups is literally it's like the saddest card in the deck. The 4 of Cups to me is it's the card of everything has fallen apart. And now the universe wants to give me something, but I'm still looking at what has fallen apart. And all I can feel is the pain. How do I reach my hand out? And how you reach your hand out is realizing that everything that you're growing is you. Everything that is happening right now is you. So we've got the Conqueror of Cups, the Knight of Cups, which is a passionate energy. There's a lot of love energy here, but I feel like you guys don't want to hear it. And I don't want to talk about it personally if you don't want to hear it. So when I talk about the Conqueror of Cups, we're going to shift out of the romance and we're going to shift directly into passion because your passions are hurting you or were. Your passions were creating pain. And the reason why is because you were too rash, too forward, too something in your mind. Does that mean that that's how you were? Absolutely not. No, that's just how you were in the moment. In your mind, you're like, oh, I'm to this, I'm to that. You're never to, you are you. And that's the thing. That's why you realized when you came into the Sacred Convergence, you realized who you are and what you've been fighting for. Now you have taken up this Conqueror of Wands. When you combine the Conqueror of Cups and the Conqueror of Wands, and with the Nine of Wands in the middle, what this is telling me is you're taking the pains from your past relationships, issues, situations, but also the past, like, passionate embraces that you've had. Ways in which, I'm not explaining this well, ways in which you have had this passion for things and you've fought for it and run at it. It's caused pain because it didn't pan out the way that you wanted it. Plain and simple. You had a vision for the future. It didn't go that way. And so the more that you would do that, the more pain it would cause. And pain begets pain is what I'm hearing. So pain builds and builds and builds. Pain leads to pain. And the more that you nurture pain, the more pain you get. So you had to really understand that the key to unlocking this is to focus on how it feels. Focus on the feeling of what you're doing and not on the end result, not on what you are hoping is going to happen, but rather on what it feels like, because what it feels like is the embodiment of the hope. And from there, once you shift into that, then you're going to have this clear-cut idea and perspective of your future. And that's when you step into the portal. This 4 of Wands energy to me is a portal energy. And we have that initiation card with a portal on it. The void space. Look at that. Oh my God. Yes. See? The void. You can't. If you guys are from pile 3 in Creation Superstation, you might be in the wrong pile. And I say that just because when I'm feeling this void space, it doesn't feel the same. This void space feels painful. This void space feels, this does not feel like a self-inflicted void space. This doesn't feel like a manifestation void space. This doesn't feel like an actual void space. This feels like what you think you're in. You think you're in the void. It's not creation. The void here is, it's this lockdown. You're trying to undo the star. You're trying to undo the extra. Okay, so let me pull these out. So you've got the void space here, okay? You've got the 9 of Wands. This is where you're at. This is what you're trying to Phoenix right now. And this is where you're heading. This is what you need to do this is what you need to embrace for rising. So if you look, this is what your void space is. It's literally undoing the knot of pain that you have locked up inside of yourself. You literally have the key right here. You have the key in the crystal. Just let yourself out. When you let yourself out, then you step into this state of, like, I'm hearing Kundalini rising. So even if you've gone through a Kundalini awakening, you're going to have one, another one, and it's going to feel kind of chaotic because look, the arrows are pointing 2 different directions and they're still correlating to this star. Same with this 2 of Wands. You feel split. You feel split, but you're trying to, Spirit's trying to get you to realize that you're in this void space to come together. Sacred convergence is bringing these things together. If you have something crossed like this, what you do is you pull it up. You pull both sides up until they're together. Now you have them interlocked. And then you create this portal. Because look, they're now pulled up, pulled together. So now they fit into this. And you have the seed of all your wishes right there. And now you're manifesting your deepest, darkest desires. And when I say deepest, darkest, I mean all the things that you have been ashamed to allow yourself to wish for. Because society says, because spirituality says, because this person says, because that person says. And now you're like, screw whatever all of that was. Because now I want what I want. Ooh, there it was. Man, you guys created like a labyrinth of energy for me. Look, the outlaw. Yeah. God, it's John Wayne energy. I had this in another reading, and then we have withdraw. It's literally, if you want to build what you want to build, it's time for you to realize that just move from your passions and stop blocking yourself out. You block yourself out with your fear. Be the outlaw. Like, a cactus is going to grow in the desert, and it's going to thrive in the desert. And they say that nothing can grow in the desert without an oasis, and a cacti can. So it's literally like, screw what you say. I'm going to show you. And you know what? I'm going to put pin pricks on myself so that if you try and take what I've built, damn, like, that's bad for you. I don't know where I was going with that, but I saw somebody like embodying the cacti in the desert and being like, yeah, I'm thriving in this environment where nothing is supposed to thrive, but look at me. And then somebody came in and they're like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna knock you down a peg. I'm gonna just take that right away from you. And then you're like, ha, poke. And it's great. I like, it's awesome because Spirit's teaching you to do this. That way you stay strong in who you are. We've got answers. This is what it is. It's that clarity. It's that resolution that you had. Confidence. See, that's that you can come at me, but sorry, bro, this is who I am. And then we have financial health. You're literally, and we had the 3 of coins. So you're literally learning to build your passions. And you're not allowing any naysayers in anymore. And that's how you become the Phoenix. You don't let naysayers in. So we've got the card right now and it says, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled each moment. And on the back, we have delusion. Intention without surrender can be a fast path to delusion. Literally, it's like, screw anybody who says I can't do this. That's that delusion energy. People say you can't do this or that, and you're literally like, bitch, let me prove you wrong. Sorry for my language, but that's the energy I'm picking up. That's that outlaw energy. It's literally like, let me show you. The song Bitch by Meredith Brooks may be significant for some of you, but that's the energy that I pick up with you guys. Now the void space feels a lot different. And for you, it's literally about shifting things. You have to shift things together. You have to pull them together. You have to, it's kind of like your shadow needs to be a part of your everyday life. Your shadow needs to be a part of your conscious life, because your shadow is your strength. Your shadow is your confidence, and your shadow has the answers because your shadow has lived in the void space. Just like I said, you had to become the darkness in order to understand your light. Now you are able to shine your light in the darkness. You guys have become the lighthouse, and you're doing it right here, right now. The answers for your confidence are existent right here. It's existent within your own spirit. Okay, wow. Pile 3, that felt like it was all over the place, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You know what? Let's roll some of these mindfulness dice before we call it. Just for some closing guidance so you rise. We have mindful breath. Be present. That again is that right now. Be silent. Aha. And show gratitude. So what I'm getting from the be silent is, you know, there's a saying, be still and know that I am God. So it's like being still helps you realize what the truth is. Being silent helps you hear what isn't being said. It's not about what's being said, but what isn't being said. It's not about what you feel, or what you see, it's about what you feel. And that's what that silent is. Sometimes we have to take a step back and be silent in order to hear. Be silent in order to listen. Be silent in order to move. So you're being asked to be very mindful of your breathing, of where you're at in the present moment, to allow for silence to come in, because in the silence is where the answers are, and show gratitude, deep gratitude for yourself, for your journey, for all the answers that you have found within yourself, because you're the answer. You are what you are seeking. Okay, pile 3, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection between us. And thank you so much, Spirit, for these amazing messages channeled through me and for the collective of pile 3. Pile 3, if this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming readings. I want to say thank you again so much to Alyssa with Celtic Fairy Tarot for this amazing collaboration. Such a beautiful energy and concept and topic for us to work through together. And she's just such a beautiful, beautiful soul. And I'm so honored to do this. Make sure that you check out the description box for links to her reading, as well as links to my author page on YouTube, on YouTube, my author page on Amazon, as well as links to donate to my channel and links to book a personal reading with me. All right, guys, let me know down in the comment section below how this resonated. Put a lighthouse or something, a candle, a light of some sort, and say, I am who I was seeking, or something along those lines. I would love to see that, just so that I know that you're standing in your power. All right. I love you all. I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you chose the 4th crystal, the Kenaz crystal or rune, and the card 37 with thistle, this is your message about how you can rise from the ashes as the phoenix. Pile 4. I have attempted to film this 4 times now. And even now, I can hear Willow whining outside the door. So I'm just going to kind of shift over quick. Hi, baby. Hi, did you want to come and say hello? Hi. Hi. Can you say hi, baby? Say hi. There's Willow. She's getting big, guys. She's been super clingy to me today. But there's this energy of just so much interference when it comes to trying to film your pile, trying to get the energies going, really just getting in touch with it. And the reason for that has everything to do with this soft card and the thistle card. Now, for you guys, particularly with the soft card, I'm not going to actually read from the book. I will show you what oracle it is. This is the Journey of Love. Sorry about that. The Journey of Love oracle. And for all the other piles, I've been reading the poem out of the book for it. But for yours, I just can't. Your energy is, there's a barrier around your energy, and it comes from this thistle card. Now, you guys are probably the pile that hears me say all the time, as above, so below. Because that's the energy that I pick up here. As above, so below. But the problem is that the as above is not what is going on below. If you look, you have soft above. Soft, gentle, flowing nature above, and below you have the thistle, you have the thorns, you have something prickly and pointy, but it's coming from above. And this is about your perception. Now, the Kenaz rune talks about creativity. It talks about having that creative eye, that creative light, that creative torch. You know, when we think about a torch, we think about fire, and fire can be destructive. Or we can look at it as fire has created the opportunity and the possibility for us to eat food that is healthy. Now, when I look at the thistle card, there's a couple of movies that have been coming through with this card in your pile in particular. The first one is Braveheart, and the second one is Brave. And if you notice, both of those are, well, first of all, Scottish, which doesn't surprise me because of the thistle, but they both have to do with bravery, with courage, with fighting, with standing up for what is right and doing the right thing. Give me just a moment, guys. I'm going to let Willow out. All right, my loves, I am back. So we were talking about the two movies, Brave and Braveheart. With Braveheart, I think about the thistle and how William Wallace was at the funeral for his father and his brother. Everyone that he knew and loved had passed away, and he was left alone. And this little girl walked up, and she handed him this thistle. And he kept it his entire life, and he ended up marrying her. But it was something so prickly during something so challenging, so painful. And yet it was one singular moment of just purity and softness and innocence. And that really is what the energy here is. Your higher self has a beautiful softness to it, to the energy. But you have this perception of your higher self or of spirit or the higher realms that is quite prickly. It's quite hard. It's painful. It's almost like you think that to be spiritual is to bring in pain. And I've been in that position before. I remember there was a time frame during my journey where I literally looked at my husband, David, and I said, I would never wish this on you in a million years. I would never wish for you to have to go through a spiritual awakening. This is awful. This is terrible. But it wasn't about the spiritual awakening itself that was so bad. What it was that I was facing all the pains and all the traumas that I had gone through in my life that I hadn't allowed myself to feel back when they actually occurred. So I was going through all of these pains as if they were starting all over from the beginning, and I felt so alone. And it was in that moment that I said I wouldn't wish this event on someone. And at the same time, the truth is it wasn't about the event. It's the fact that I was in pain. And it wasn't until I allowed myself to see that my higher self may put me through the ringer, but it puts me through the ringer because of the love that it has for me. And it's the same for you. Sometimes we can feel the most at odds with ourselves rather than other people. But the way that we find a pathway forward is by softening to being more receptive to what our higher selves and what spirit are trying to tell us, softening our ways of being and allowing for a more natural and creative flow to come in. When it comes to the thistle and the creative nature of the Kenaz stone, I can't help but think about how I turned my traumas into creativity. I turned my pains and my anguish and my questions and my confusion into lessons for other people to learn, into a story. And it was a story that I was writing so that I could close it out. So it was no longer my story, but it was the story of a person that I used to be. I wrote 2 books that were based off of people that I used to be. I'm no longer either one of those people, but I honored each version of myself that I was when I wrote those books. Why? Because each version of myself when I was writing those books needed those words to be poured out onto the pages and needed those pages to be poured out into the world so that the world could have these moments of clarity where they knew that they weren't alone because I went through everything that I went through alone. We turn our pains into creativity, and that is how we become the phoenix. Creativity is not defined solely based off of artistry. It's not just about art. Creativity is knowing that everything that you do on a daily basis is creation. From the first breath you breathe in the morning, from the moment you open your eyes to the first step that you take outside of your bed to the morning coffee. I was going to say something a little bit more grotesque that I was being shown, but we're going to kind of keep it PG here. Your morning coffee, every single moment, every single step, every single action that you take is a work of art. It is creation. It's not just about painting or drawing or singing or poetry or anything like that. Sometimes we fight so hard that we forget that we are naturally creative beings. And for you right now, pile 4, you're being called to remember that you are a creative being. That all the pains and all the anguish, it wasn't because your higher self doesn't love you. It wasn't because spirit doesn't love you. It was to help you understand what it means to be in the divine masculine, and what it means to be in the divine feminine, what it means to be a divine feminine warrior, and what it means to be divine feminine gentle and receptive, what it means to be all things, because you are multifaceted. You have so many layers to you and so many different pieces of who you are. You are like me in so many ways, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I know how hard it is to find the love that you have for yourself because you are so many things. There's no label, there's no definition. Nothing will ever put you into a box anymore. And that's how you rise up and fly, by knowing that you don't have to be in a box. Look, even the soft card, it has circles. The thistle has a triangle. There's nothing box-like about you. You don't fit into those frames of reference, so don't put yourself in them. Create a new shape. Create a shape that is designed divinely solely for you. And rise like the phoenix, because it's what you're meant to do. Now, each of these cards is here to tell you the next step on your journey. The next step into your destiny, the next step into your dreams, the next step into your next transformation, and the next step into your archetype. You are the only pile where the energy that I felt from it was utterly regal, utterly noble, utterly sure. When I was pulling your oracle cards, the only energy that isn't sure is the difference between these two. but these two are meant to be different. You grow the most through dissonance. And if you are walking dissonance, then you are nothing but walking growth. You grow simply by being yourself, by exploring who you are. You are the only pile that didn't have a past energy because you're in a place in which now there is no past, because the past is the present is the future is the present. Everything is one because you are one. This is your final step, is embracing the oneness of your dissonance. So let's take a look at your cards. We have leadership, step up and lead. We have the card 8, crown games, right use of power. Yes. I mean, yes. We have the card 31, rainbow waterfall with miracles. And then, this is the Elqui deck, and I am actually taking a leaf out of Baba Jolie's guided messages, the same as I did before. And I wanted to give her the credit for this inspiration because she does it so beautifully and so naturally. And I am simply adopting her style and saying the one who instead of she who, because it is not gender specific. So it says primavera, the one who begins, launch, actualize, and potential. This is what I was feeling. You guys are at your beginning. There is no past anymore. You see, your destiny is leadership. Your dream is to use your power in the right way, in the way that other people have not used their power in your life. And your transformation is through miracles because you are ready to begin. It is time for you to begin. As soon as you embrace the fact that you are walking dissonance and you work with that, you work with being walking dissonance because it's such a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful energy. It means that you can go to the depths and you can climb the highest mountains. You guys might be Capricorn risings, sun or moon. That was like Capricorn energy is really strong here because for me, Capricorns are the most grounded emotional dynamisms of the zodiac. And I love Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy is so beautiful, but you don't have to have that for this to resonate. It's just an energy I'm picking up. Now, if you think about the polar bear adapts. It adapted to its environment. It blended in. It turned the color of its coat so that it had protection built into its being. You have that sleekness, but you belong among the stars. And I don't mean like the cosmos. I mean, you may be an astrologer, of course, but I mean you belong in the stars, like the stars of Hollywood is what I'm actually seeing. Like, you know how to use what you know. You know how to step up. You know how to use your power in the right way. You don't have to fight anymore. Now you can soften and be receptive. Now you can soften to the divine feminine aspect of your entire life. That is how you rise like the phoenix. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off. And we're going to shuffle some cards and get some additional messages for you. We're just going to move that thistle right up here. So I got to tell you guys, like, when I was getting ready to do your reading, I couldn't do it. I had to go get a new nose ring. Okay. To go get a new nose ring. And I actually got a ring on my nose, like a hoop. And I've never had a hoop in my nose because my ex-husband told me I was trashy for getting a nose ring. And I was like, okay, whatever. We were divorced at the time. And then my mom told me that it was okay for me to have a nose ring as long as it was just a stud because that was the only thing acceptable. It was kind of cute even. But as a kid, I used to take my hoop earrings and I'd put them in my nose and pretend to have a hoop nose ring. And I'd do the same thing with my lip. But over time, I realized that I wouldn't be accepted if I wanted to do these things for myself. So today I went and did that. And I had to do that before I could film your pile because that's the energy that you're being asked to embody. And so often when I come here to these piles and I'm having trouble filming them, it's because I have to be able to embody your energy in order to bring forth the messages that you're seeking or that you need to hear. So in this case, for you guys in particular, this is about you giving to yourself the things that you always thought that you shouldn't have. It's about softening yourself to being more receptive to the things that you want, the things that you've always wanted, regardless of what other people say. So we have the Fool. And then the Hanged Man, or the Hanged One. And then we have the 8 of Wands, the 9 of Coins, and finally the Hierophant. Holy cow, major arcana cards. And on the back, we have the 5 of Wands. This is that thistle energy. You've been battling for far long enough. You've been battling. It's like you've been holding yourself back from your new beginning. Solely because you're afraid of what other people are going to think. You're afraid to step into your leadership. You're afraid to step into your independence. But you don't have to be afraid of that. Literally, it's as soon as you decide, I want to be my fullest self, everything changes for you. Everything shifts for you. This is the most beautiful spread I've seen because you literally get the choice right here and now. You get the choice right now. What do you want to do? If you guys are my Reiki pile, you are being called to step up into a higher level of healing. This may not be a healing that you've ever seen. All of them? Okay. So you had one fall out for each of your cards. We have Get Creative with the Fool, Underworld with the Hanged One, the Outlaw with the 8 of Wands, Nature with 9 of Coins, and the Pillar with the Hierophant. I'm not surprised whatsoever. And on the back, we have the Sovereign. You've decided to step out. So you wanted to have a new beginning and you knew that you needed to get creative. But in order to do that, you did really, truly require a pause so that you could take a step back and really get in deep into your shadow. Because without understanding all of who you are, this dissonance would have defeated you. But now you know all of who you are and you can actually create through this dissonance. It's almost as if you're creating a new underworld. That's very interesting. It's like you're taking all the chains from the underworld and you're creating something with them. That's very interesting. I'm just looking at the wrist and I know it looks like barbed wire to me, but I'm seeing chains in my third eye and I'm seeing you like creating a masterpiece out of chains. That's so cool. Cats in the Cradle, that may be a significant song for you. It's by Cat Stevens. I can't remember his new name. But then you got this Outlaw and the 8 of Wands. And it's directly aligned with this understanding that when you embrace your dissonance, now this is where you get to go do whatever. You know, the Outlaw, I get it now. The Outlaw energy is kind of how I felt when I put this hoop ring in my nose. And I know that may seem really ridiculous to some people, but if you grew up with straight-laced parents or a straight-laced parent the way that my mom is, you would understand, like, I'm stepping out here. It's hard enough for me to like go home with my purple hair and hear, oh, your hair. Yeah, I just really liked it a different color. Oh, I just really miss your natural color. Things like that instead of, wow, your hair color really makes your eyes pop, or wow, that's a really flattering color on you. I went to the doctor today and the doctor was like, oh, I love your hair. You dyed it from the last time I saw you, which is a little bit sad, except that she's a client of mine. So it's not quite so sad. But that's the thing is I can go to my doctor and my doctor is like, oh, I love that color. But I know if I go home, I'm going to hear, oh, I miss your natural color. It's comments like that. But when you step into this outlaw energy and you're like, oh no, this is what I'm going to do. Oh, I'm going to be myself. Oh, I'm going to embrace myself. Oh, I don't care what came before, or who says that I can or cannot do something like this. If it's something that makes me feel good, that makes me feel free, then that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm getting major Aquarius energy, which shouldn't surprise me because the Fool is here. And that's Uranus, and Uranus rules Aquarius. But with the Outlaw, I really get a lot of Aquarius energy. You may have Aquarius in your 12th house. That's a very specific one, but I'm picking up major like 12th house Aquarius. Because the 12th house Aquarius is going to bury that Aquarian energy as much as they can. And so you'll feel more and more and more and more restricted. It will make you feel more restricted as time goes on because you want nothing more or less than spiritual freedom, but you don't know how to have spiritual freedom because nobody ever teaches you, because nobody teaches you what's in the 12th house. You have to learn what's in the 12th house for yourself. That's the nature of the hidden. You have to learn it. So this is giving me a lot of Aquarius in the 12th house. You could also have Aquarius in the 8th house because of the 8 of Wands. But more than anything, I'm getting Aquarius in the 12th house. You don't have to have this placement, but that's the energy of it. It's nobody taught you how to be free. Nobody taught you how to embrace yourself. It's like you have all of this. Your natural nature here is this abundance, is this independence, this I'm going to do things my way and create my way, and I'm going to make the world so much better because of it. And nobody taught you how to do this. It's like all of your uniqueness and all of your independence and all of the beautiful things that make you were shoved into that 12th house and then shoved into your subconscious mind, and then you were told over and over and over again to do this, to do this, to do this. And all of these things are marching to the beat of someone else's drum, and you are listening, just like in Frozen 2 with Elsa, where she's the only one who can hear the sound from the forest, you're the only one who can hear that. If no one teaches you that it's a normal thing for you to hear it, that it's okay for you to hear it, that it's a blessing and a gift for you to hear it, then you're going to think that you have to ignore it, that you have to shy away from it. But that's not the case. You shove it into the underworld for so long that you can't pull it back out. But you can, and that's the thing. You can pull it back out because that's what you're being called to do. That's how you rise like the phoenix. You pull out all of the uniqueness that makes you who you are, and you step more fully into who you are. Get in touch with your natural essence. That is the nature of who you are. Mother Nature teaches us that because Mother Nature doesn't give a flying rat's butt about us. She doesn't care. We can be parked on the beach and she's going to bring in a typhoon and wash us away, and she doesn't care because that's what the beach needed at the time. She's taking care of herself. She's not taking care of us. She's not worried about us. She's going, this is what I need, so I'm going to do it. Most of what she needs has something to do with something that we did to her. But she knows what she needs and she does that. She takes care of herself. She stands in her own wealth and independence. You are being called to learn from Mother Nature to stand in the wealth and the independence that you have within you. And you are going to step up as this strong, firm, spiritual leader in the world. Leadership is your path. It doesn't matter what creative method you use. You don't have to make it art. Like I keep feeling like you're the logical, like that's why I get that Capricorn. And Capricorn and Aquarius blended together should seem natural, and yet it doesn't. It's like putting Uranus and Saturn together. They just bicker back and forth because they see things dramatically different. But you can have a viewpoint that is so different than everything around you. And it's that's the beauty of it. That's what you should be fighting for. Not fighting for anything else, but fighting to just see the world in your own unique way. We've got compassion. See the world in your own unique way, because when you embrace your own uniqueness and your own perspective, that's when you really bring forth the awareness into the world. And I'm looking at this compassion card, and I can't help but think of this Mother Nature message about how the earth will always take care of herself. She has compassion for herself. She knows what she needs. And then we have inspiration. On the back, we have finding. You're literally learning to, you're working to find yourself. That finding is that energy, that 12th house energy that I keep picking up. And it doesn't have to be Aquarius. It could be, you could have Capricorn in your 12th house, Taurus in your 12th house. You could have Neptune in your 12th house or Uranus in your 12th house. Or Pluto in your 12th house, which would be like double whammy. But this compassion card and inspiration, the compassion that you have for yourself is what is going to inspire the world. It's what you should be using to inspire yourself. Your final message is limitless. And look at all of these hands opening for butterflies. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. You don't have to fight for these things. You just have to see how limitless you are, how capable of receiving you are. And this soft card talks about being open and receptive. On the back, we have sanctity. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. So this sanctity card, we talk about making something sanctified. Sanctify your creations. Sanctify your compassion. Sanctify your inspiration. Make your life, there's a card, I want to say it's in the Work Your Light Oracle, that says, make your life a living prayer. And that's what I'm getting with you guys. Make your life a living prayer. See how limitless you can be and create from that space. Understand that you're worthy of receiving. It's in your nature to receive. Go against the grain and do something completely different. Do something that is just for you and watch how the world starts doing things that are just for you, because you've shown the world that this is what you deserve. This is what you are ready for, and this is what you're open to receiving. It's such a beautiful, beautiful energy, and all you have to do is be willing to step into it. And I know that seems, I'm literally hearing it's easy for you to say, Monica. No, it's not. No, it's not easy for me to say. Telling you to step up into your leadership position, that's not fucking easy for me to say. You know why? Because it wasn't easy for me to step into my leadership position. So I know how hard it is. I talk to you guys all the time about how hard this stuff is for me. How challenging. That imposter syndrome, it's a bitch. It's a bitch and a half to get over. But you can do it. You absolutely can do it. You just have to believe that you can do it. And then you tell that negative mindset to go get bent. All right, let's get your mindfulness dice. Let go. Thank you, Elsa. Maybe you guys should watch Frozen too. And then it says, mindful bites. That's interesting. That's a new one. Find joy and cultivate courage. Do you guys feel like you're getting a smackdown from your higher self on that cultivate courage? Because I find it funny personally. I find it funny. So the mindful bites is literally telling you, in the book, it talks about, being mindful of the food that you eat. Take the time and chew your food and languish in it. Enjoy it. Really let it hit every taste bud. Me personally, I have a tongue that is half numb half the time because they accidentally messed up my nerves when I had my tonsils removed back in the spring of 2019. And so anytime I get sick, half my tongue goes numb. So the concept of a mindful bite where you're like really relishing in every flavor on your tongue, it just doesn't work for me. But bites can be anything. You can take you can be mindful of it's more about mindful consumption. Mindful consumption is I'm not going to consume this in excess. It's like I used to scroll on Facebook all the time. I was one of those people that was just completely and utterly lost in the digital world. I would be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I would never really do much. I just scroll. Or I would watch TV incessantly all the time, just all the time watching TV. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, or I did know what I wanted to do with my life, but I didn't believe myself capable of doing it. So I would sit and I would stare at the TV and I would live vicariously through the characters on the TV screen. And thankfully, I learned a lot of lessons from that. And I can use that to correlate lessons here. But it's about mindfulness. I'll watch TV now, but I will be very mindful about it. And I will recognize when my energy is like, yeah, no, this is not okay. Like, no, this is not what I want. And then I will stop. But even consumption in the form of how much you work. If you're a creator, how much you work. And I got to tell you guys, I'm calling myself out on this because I struggle with this too. I want to work constantly. I have had to teach myself over the past few months how to film and schedule my videos, and then leave them on a schedule, not rush forward, because then I am producing, and then I hit a wall and I have to try and keep up the rate that I overproduced. Instead, I can produce at the rate that I'm producing, put my videos out ahead of time, and if I want to take a break, I can take a break. It's about learning how to be more mindful about what you consume and what consumes you. Finding joy, letting go, cultivating courage. These are all simple things that seem so challenging when we're faced with the fact that we just need to do it. I'm literally hearing Elsa in my head singing about letting it go. And when she sings Let It Go, it's about her not feeling emotions. Let go of the, I have to be this way. It has to be this way. I have to be this hard. I have to be this prickly. And let yourself soften and receive. You don't have to be go, go, go all the time. You don't have to be on the defensive all the time. You can be open. You can be receptive. Go against the grain and just be like, you know what? I love everybody and I'm going to love everybody because that's who I am. I have compassion for everybody because that's who I am. And say, my love is limitless, just like Spirit's love. And I'm going to stand here and I'm going to teach everybody. And you may see me as very naive, but I see you as narrow-minded. And that's okay because we have dissonance there. Now we can grow. Now we can find joy. Cultivate the courage that you have to step up and stand in your own authenticity, to stand in your own power, to stand in your own leadership, and then to speak about that into the world. And if you need an example, guys, and this is not me tooting my own horn, this is me telling you, I will be your example. Go watch my Let's Talk videos. That's literally what I'm doing. Being an example for those who need to learn how to use their voice. Why am I doing it? Because I needed to learn how to use my voice. And so what better way of teaching others than to teach in the action of doing? Oh, wow. All right. Pile 4, you're ready. The whole premise of this entire reading is just that you're ready. Your new beginning is here. There is no past anymore. You shed it all. You're ready. You're the leader. Time to take the lead. You got this. You are an inspiration. You got this. All right, pile 4. I want to say thank you so much for your energy. This was an absolutely amazing reading. Thank you so much. Thank you to your guides and mine for facilitating the connection between us. Thank you so much, Spirit, for helping me get back into this channel and flow of energy so that I could bring this message forth for the collective of pile 4. As difficult as it was. Thank you for taking me on my little journey so that I could understand the energies. I really, truly appreciate it. All right, pile 4. If this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Down in the description box below, you will find a link to Alyssa and Celtic Fairy Tarot's reading. And I do want to say a huge shout out and thank you to her for doing this collaboration with me, for coming to me about this collaboration. I absolutely love her. She is so amazing. Go check out her video if you haven't already. If you're here from her video, hi. All right. And then below that, you will find links to my author page, links to donate to my channel, and links to book a personal reading with me if you are feeling frisky. All my personal readings are done in a very unique styling. That's why I say you got to be pretty adventurous to do it. But if you want to cultivate courage, definitely book a personal reading with me. That'll help you. All right. Let us know in the comment section below how this resonated. I would love to know. I love you guys so much. I believe in you. Step into your power because it is your time to shine. Pile 4s, I love you all. Bye.